Hello, NACC fans. I hope everyone is doing great. We are back with our second season of covering NACC basketball and our first season covering NACC women's basketball as well. So this is the first ever podcast episode covering NACC women's basketball, and I couldn't be more excited. A lot of teams have already started their 2020-2021 season. Which is great to see, considering all things that are going on right now due to COVID-19 and the different changes that each institution and program are having to do and adjust on the fly and make the best of the situation to give their student athletes the best experience that they can possibly give right now. So I'm excited. It's something new for me, but being a former coach in the NACC and having to travel to road games and home games and watching the double headers on the weekends. I'm excited, because I know there's a lot of good talent on the women's side with a lot of great programs, and it should be another great year on the women's side as well. So just starting things off, we are back to divisions. We're back to the North and South divisions. The North Division is made up of all the Wisconsin schools, and the South Division is made up of all the Illinois schools. So back to divisions. The biggest thing is obviously due to COVID and travel restrictions and trying to keep things in state as much as possible. It makes for the best case scenario for everybody to limit traveling, long distances, and things like that. So back to North and South Division. I'm curious to see if it stays this way moving forward. I know recently in the past, some of that has been brought back up, just trying to figure out the number of conference games and those kind of things. So curious to see if moving forward, if the NACC is going to stay with the North and South divisions or go back to all one conference and everybody playing everybody twice with a couple schools playing schools one time. So it'd be interesting moving forward. Illinois Tech has opted out of the 2020-2021 winter sports seasons. Hopefully they are doing well and everybody is healthy within the Illinois Tech athletic department. And hopefully the coaches there and the players are all safe and healthy. I know they have made a change on the women's side as their head coach, and we will get to that within this episode. When regards to the conference tournament, previously in the years where there was a North and South division, each division would get the top four teams, and then those four teams would get into the conference tournament, making up of 8 teams, whereas the last couple years it has been 6, with the first and second seeds both receiving byes. Now 8 teams are in, 4 from the North, 4 from the South, and then after talking to a few of the head coaches within the league, the North will play each other, and the South will play each other, and then the winner of the North side of the tournament will play the winner of the South side of the tournament to determine who is going to get the automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament. So it's a little bit different. In previous years when it was North and South Division, those were the years where you played everybody on your side twice, and then you played everybody on the opposite division once, and then determining that head-to-head matchup when it came down to seeding and those kind of things came into play. But now it's North Division versus South Division, and then the winner of each of those when it comes to the NACC tournament will be playing for the NACC tournament championship. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. A lot of good programs, a lot of success last year with 2 teams getting in the NCAA tournament, Edgewood and Benedictine. And we are going to jump right into things with the North Division. Edgewood College made it to the NCAA tournament last year with a 25-3 overall record, 18-2 in the NACC, and won the NACC championship at Benedictine to earn the AQ to the NCAA tournament. So great year, and if you've been following the Edgewood women's program, Coach Huff has done a great job of building that program since she took over, improving each and every year, not just record-wise, but obviously talent-wise. And again, if you follow them on social media, you see all the success that they have on and off the court. So Edgewood College is currently on a 12-game NACC winning streak going into this season. So they're off to a great start. A lot of high expectations. And they also return a lot from last year's team. They returned 95.3% of its scoring from a season ago. In there is 2019-2020 all NACC performers. Bria Lemerande was first team. Alyssa Remonande was also first team as well. Abby Shane was honorable mention. And Emma Klein was freshman of the year. I do apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce any names. Feel free to let me know the correct pronunciation. So that way, moving forward, I can make sure I announce every young lady's name correctly. So it's always a good start when you return two first-team all-conference players, an honorable mention player, and then think about this. A freshman of the year is back. So the NACC has a lot to deal with when it comes to Edgewood and the program. So all four of those players started at least 26 games. Then you also have the 2018-2019 NACC Freshman of the Year, Lexi Walter, started 28 games for the Eagles as well. So return a lot of experience, young experience. So it's an exciting time right now. Coach Huff is in her 5th season as the head coach at Edgewood College. Won 25 games last season. And throughout her career, she's increased a win total each year. On top of having success on the court, she was also named D3 Hoops Central Region Coach of the Year, while the Eagles coaching staff was honored by the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association as Staff of the Year. So a lot of success within the Edgewood College program. They return a lot. We mentioned 4 young ladies right there. Alyssa Lemerande led the team in scoring last year with 13.6 points per game, while also dishing out a team-best 4.2 assists. Bria Lemerande had the first 2 triple-doubles in Eagles women's basketball history, as well as averaging 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 4.1 assists per game. Abby Shane and Emma Klein scored 8.3 and 8.2 points per game, respectively. So they do return a lot. It's always great when you return young talent that had a lot of success the previous year. Currently, the Eagles are 1-2 on the year, with all 3 games being on the road. They lost their opening game in overtime to Northwestern of Minnesota, 79-75. Lost a tough one at Wartburg, 60-51. But got their first win of the year against Dubuque, 74-69. So we're 1-2 with all 3 games being on the road. And I've also mentioned on my own Twitter page, I give the Edgewood College administration a lot of respect for finding a safe way for both their programs, men's and women's, to be able to one, play non-conference games, but also try to make it the best experience possible. One of their first game was back in November, which is normal in a normal season, but right now everything got pushed back to 2021, and they were able to find a way to give their student athletes the best experience possible. So a lot of respect for them, and I know all the administrations in the NACC have done so, and are trying to find ways to give their student athletes and their programs the best experience possible, while handling their safety with the utmost importance. Right now, in this season, Alyssa Remonande is leading the team in scoring with 18.7 points per game and assists with just under 5. And second on the team in rebounding with 8.7. Paige Banks is second on the team with 10.3 points per game. And Bria Lemerande is third on the team in scoring with 7.7 and leads the team in rebounding with 9.7. So they're 1-2 on the year, off to a good start, with a couple close losses early, but they're not afraid to schedule. Wartburg is traditionally one of the better teams in the Midwest area, and then traveling north to play Northwestern Minnesota. So credit to Coach Huff for scheduling non-conference games and finding a way to do so. Moving on to Concordia, Wisconsin, who finished the 2019-2020 season with a 14-12 overall record, 13-7 in the NACC, to earn the 5 seed in the NACC tournament. Leading scorer from last season was Emily Hafman. She led the team with 13.2 points per game, tied in second with 51 overall assists. Clara Chambers was second on the team with 12.2 points per game and team leading 5.6 rebounds. Cameron Zaliga averaged double digits with 10 points per game and 5.4 rebounds per game. Emily Hafman was first team All-NACC, and Clara Chambers earned second team. Coach Brenna Jones is entering her 17th season at Concordia, Wisconsin. She led the Falcons to 7 conference titles, 2 appearances in the NCAA tournament, and has been named Conference Coach of the Year 4 times. They opened the 2020-2021 season with a 64-58 win at home against Loras, and then 4 days later traveled to Loras and came up short in a high-scoring game, 92-84 at Loras. They did pick up their second win of the season, and Coach Brenner Jones' 300th career win with a 57-45 non-conference win over MSOE. It was a non-conference game. MSOE is also in the North Division of the NACC as well. CU Dub is currently led in scoring by sophomore Lindsay Smitsdorf with 17 points per game and an amazing 13 rebounds per game while shooting an outrageous 76% from the floor. Emily Hafman is second in scoring with 16 points per game and leading the team in 5.3 assists. Cameron Zaliga is third with 11 points per game, and Clara Chambers is fourth with 10 points per game and 6.3 rebounds. So balanced scoring, a lot of scoring. It's always great when you have somebody that you can throw the ball to, and 3 out of 4 times they are going to score it. So, CU Dub, traditionally one of the top program on the women's side, and it looks like right now early in the season that they are going to continue to be one of the teams competing for a North Division NACC championship. MSOE out of Milwaukee School of Engineering, finished the 2019-2020 season with a 9-16 record overall, 9-11 in the NACC. Coach Trees enters her second season at MSOE after spending the previous seasons as an assistant at Lake Forest College. Senior Amy Reiser did it all for the Red Raiders last season. She led them in scoring with just over 12 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 3 assists. Senior Michaela Doggs was second on the team when scoring with 11.8 points per game. They did open their season with a 57-45 non-conference loss at Concordia, Wisconsin. Senior Kayla Burrito led them with 14 points, and Amy Reiser led the Raiders with 9 rebounds. Marion Sabres finished the 2019-2020 season with a 4-21 record overall, 4-16 in the NACC. They did hire a new coach through the pandemic. And Coach Kristen Rogers was hired in May of 2020. She was previously an assistant at Northwoods University, a Division II institution. The Sabres do return Claire Lewandowski, sophomore, with an average 8 points per game, 39 total assists and 18 steals. Paige Harris, a junior who averaged 8 points per game, 5 rebounds, had 9 total blocks and 23 total steals. Morgan Johnson is a senior, 7.3 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 20 total steals, and 9 blocks. They do open the season hosting Alverno on January 22nd and 23rd. So, interesting. Looking forward to seeing how Coach Rogers does, taking over her first season at Marion. So, good luck, Coach. Lakeland finished last season with the 11-14 overall record. Also won 11-9 in the NACC. Coach Pearson takes over as head coach at Lakeland. She previously was an assistant for Lakeland for 7 seasons. During that time, she was part of a team that combined for 102 wins. She was part of the 2016-17 team that advanced to the NCAA tournament. and has coached a total of 13 all NACC players. So Coach Peterson, very familiar with the program, and obviously had a big hand in recruiting the young ladies to the program. So excited for her. Congratulations, Coach, on taking over. Senior Megan Will is returning after being named first team all NACC last year. She led the Muskies in scoring with 14.1 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, and had 44 total blocks. Janae Farr returns as well after averaging 8.2 points per game. And then Casey Gardner led the Muskies with 91 assists last year. They opened the 2020-2021 season hosting Concordia, Wisconsin on January 22nd and 23rd. Wisconsin Lutheran College, one of the top programs on the women's side traditionally, had a lot of success, and that success continued last year as well. Finished the season 19-8 with a 15-5 NACC record. Earned a third seed in the NACC tournament before losing in the NACC semifinals to Edgewood. Coach Clay Knuppel is a four-time conference coach of the year. Enters his 17th season as a head coach at Wisconsin Lutheran College, who is the 22nd amongst winning active coaches in Division III with a .726 winning percentage. Spent 12 seasons as assistant for Warriors before being named the head coach in 2004. The Warriors have reached the conference tournament last year for 23rd straight. Reached a conference tournament for 23rd straight season. Obviously, the NACC hasn't been around that long, but their success in the previous conference is remarkable. 23 straight years of postseason play. Kelly Tromberg was named NACC Defensive Player of the Year last season, but the Warriors do return Jenna Mace, who led the Warriors with 13 points per game and a team-high 81 assists. Amanda Brugg was second in scoring at 12 points per game and led the team with 5.9 rebounds per game. They do open the season hosting MSOE January 29th and 30th. To wrap up the North Division, Alverno. They finished the 2019-2020 season with a 5-20 overall record, 5-15 in the NACC. Coach Rockwell enters her third season as a head coach of the Inferno. As an assistant with the team, she helped the program to 32 victories as well as a trip to NACC semifinals in 2016-2017. Throughout her 3 seasons as an assistant, the team also had 4 all-league, all-NACC players, including a pair following the 2015-2016 season. Last time I checked their website, there was no updated roster, but they do open the 2020-2021 season January 22nd and 23rd at Marion. So again, the North Division, you have Edgewood, you have Concordia, Wisconsin, you have Wisconsin Lutheran College, you have Marion, MSOE, Lakeland, and Alverno. So an exciting, deep conference, and if you follow the conference, you'll see that a lot of success coming from those North Division schools. Moving on to the South Division, you have Benedictine, who had an amazing year last year, went 24-4 overall, and a perfect 20-0 NACC record in the regular season. They won the NACC for the first time, but lost the NACC championship to Edgewood. But they did earn an at-large NCAA tournament bid before losing to Trine in the first round. Abby Hengesbach was named the head coach during the 2020 year. Previously, she was an assistant coach at Benedictine since 2018-2019 season. She took over for Coach Avercamp, who moved on to a Hillsdale of Division II. But not all is lost. Benedictine does return reigning NACC Player of the Year, Alex Fanning. She was second on the team at 13.2 points per game, but led them in 12.4 rebounds, 80 total blocks, and was second on the team with 60 assists. Leading scorer, Allison Michalski, returns after leading the Eagles with a 16.8 points per game and second with 6.4 rebounds. Hannah Pyro returns after handing out an amazing 119 assists last season. The Eagles opened the season hosting Concordia Chicago January 29th and 30th. Aurora University finished the 2019-2020 season with the 15-11 overall record, 11-9 in the NACC, earning the 6th seed in the NACC tournament, but came up short against Wisconsin Lutheran in the first round. Coach Rebsum enters his third year as the head coach of the Spartans. He has a 26-25 overall record, 22-18 in the NACC, and 2 NACC tournament appearances. Last season, they had a senior, Maya Rabi, was second team All NACC. But they do return first team All NACC. Julia Golliner returns after averaging 19.9 points per game and 4.6 rebounds per game last year for the Spartans, who open up the season hosting Dominican January 29th and the 30th. Dominican, the Stars, finished the 2019-2020 season with a 19-8 overall record, 14-6 in the NACC, lost in the NACC semifinals 63-60 to Benedictine. Coach Rivas was named the head coach coming into this season, entering his first season. During his time with the women's program, he's played a role in tremendous turnaround, culminating in back-to-back appearances in the NACC tournament semifinals. They've enjoyed 3 straight winning seasons with him on the bench as an assistant. So Coach Rivas has a lot of experience with the program, has done a lot, obviously been crucial in their recruitment and player development. And last season, he spent some time helping out the men's program, who had one of the best turnarounds in the Division III last year, posting 8 more wins than the previous season. So expecting good things from Coach Rivas leading the Stars program. Tamaya Ray was first team All NACC. Alec Hoskins was second team All NACC for the Stars last season. No roster was posted yet, but I'm anticipating one will be posted here soon. They do open the season traveling to Aurora January 29th and 30th. Concordia Chicago finished up the 2019-2020 season with a 9-16 overall record, 8-12 in the NACC. Coach Martin enters her third season as a head coach of the Cougars. She has a 17-33 overall record and 16-24 NACC record. Honorable mention, guard Tara Hastings returns after leading the Cougars with 13.6 points per game. Bailey Steinkamp returns after being second in scoring for the Cougars last year with 8 points per game. So, just looking through their roster, it's interesting to only see 2 seniors on the Cougars roster. So, a lot of young, experienced players returning back for the Cougars. And anybody that knows anything about the NACC and the success that a lot of teams have, as teams get older, success continues to follow. So, a young team with a lot of experience, and they open their season at Hope College on January 20th. Wrapping up the South Division, Rockford University finished last season with a 4-21 overall record, 2-18 in the NACC. Coach Stinson enters his second year as a head coach of the Regents. He spent the previous 4 as my assistant. He was on the men's side with me, where he was either involved in or led pretty much every aspect of our program. So I know he's going to continue to do a great stuff on his program, and it's definitely an opportunity that he's earned, and I'm excited to watch him continue to lead this program and have a lot of pride in him. Nev Yerk returns after averaging 12.6 points per game and 8.6 rebounds for the Regents in just 16 games last season. She also led the team with 35 blocks. Looking at their roster and a chance where Coach Stinson and his staff got a full year to get out and recruit, and it certainly paid off. Only 2 members of the 2019-2020 season return for the region. So a lot of new faces for them, a big roster with a lot of depth, and it's going to be a little bit different. I think it'll be a little bit different for the Regents this year, and I'm excited to watch them and Coach Stinson get on the floor and compete. So they open up their season February 5th and 6th at Aurora. So Illinois Tech, as I mentioned earlier, opted out of the 2020-2021 winter sports season. They did hire a new coach. Coach Sane was previously the head coach at the University of Chicago. So she just moved right down to the city, and hopefully her and her program are safe, and everyone is doing well there. All things considered, I'm sure it wasn't an easy decision to make when opting out of the season. But obviously, the biggest thing is for the safety of the program and everybody in that athletic department and student athletes. So hopefully they'll return next season, and we can get back to having a normal season next year. But weekly games, a lot of games coming up this week. As I mentioned earlier, Concordia Chicago travels to Hope on Wednesday, January 20th. Conference play starts Friday, January 22nd and 23rd. So if you look at the schedule, everybody is playing Friday, Saturday, back-to-back games against the same opponent, with everybody playing in the same division. And that's who you're playing against conference-wise to limit exposure and help with testing and things like that. The NACC has decided to play back-to-back games against the same opponent. So Friday and Saturday, Alverno is at Marion, CUW is at Lakeland, and Edgewood is at MSOE. On Saturday, January 23rd, Greenville travels to Concordia, Chicago. So a lot of games this week. Excited to watch them play. Excited to watch their games. And I'm glad that these young ladies and their programs and these coaches are able to have some sort of season. They've definitely earned it, and this is what they've been working for. And hopefully every program can continue to operate safely and have as great a season as they possibly can do. So a lot of games this week. You can watch all of them online because I know some institutions are not allowing fans to attend games. So all games are pretty much streamed online. You can go to the NACC website and find the links there, or you can go to the individual institutions' websites and find the links to watch the live streaming, which are all, I believe, unless things have changed, that they are all free. So excited for this. I'm excited to cover the women's side on this podcast because I think there's a lot of great basketball, and after watching it for years during my time at Rockford as part of their program, I know it's going to be some good basketball, and it's going to be competitive, and again, the biggest thing is hopefully everybody is safe throughout the season. So I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to covering the women's side. And again, if I've made any mistakes on pronunciations of names, feel free to let me know. I will gladly make any changes and work on that as the season goes on. But good luck to everybody, and glad basketball is back.